It's lights out and away we go. Sven gets an amazing start off the line. Bloke not able to challenge. Chris staying in 6th position. The Mercedes challenging the McLaren. The McLaren somehow got in front of the Mercedes. Didn't see the overtake there. But Chris is challenging the Renault. The Red Bull goes off the track. The Renault's alongside the Red Bull. Chris is now drafting both Red Bull and Renault. So let's see what Chris can do from behind them. The Red Bull and Renault getting very close to each other. Chris pulling out, having to defend from the Force India driver. And there goes Bloke. He's off the track. Bloke gets taken out. There's carnage. Oh my god, there's so much carbon fiber on the track at the moment. Someone's front wing came off. Bloke got decimated in that corner. There goes the Sauber driver making a horrible move. Bloke off to a bad start. Joker up 4 positions. Bloke down 4 positions. Chris is into 3rd place ahead of the Red Bull driver. Surprisingly, there is no safety car called. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Sven is pretty far ahead of the McLaren driver at the moment, also setting the fastest lap. Lap 3 DRS should be enabled at the moment. Sven setting a new fastest lap of the race. Bloke cutting the corner a little bit there. He now has a run on the Renault driver. He is on the inside and he's making the move stick. No, he cannot. The Renault driver is still ahead. Bloke now has DRS, overtake on ERS, rich fuel mix. Let's see if he can get past the Renault driver. No, he cannot. He might have been saving fuel. He did lock up going into there. Chris just got past the the McLaren driver of OG. OG trying to get back past him, and he has tapped Chris's rear end, pushing him wide. Might be a penalty there if he does get ahead, but no, he does not.
Reduce ERS deployment.
And there goes the Red Bull driver making a very poor mistake there. But he does have a good run out of the exit there, and he is at the moment past the Haas driver. No, he's not. He did slow down. There is FRL Joker on the outside of the Renault driver. The Renault driver is struggling here on the faster compound. Oh, the Renault and McLaren driver make contact. The Renault driver on the outside of the Red Bull. Wow, what an overtake. The Red Bull, the Haas and the McLaren car will have DRS. The Renault driver going to struggle here because he does not have DRS. The Red Bull driver getting by with ease. Going to the inside to defend just to make sure the Renault driver does not get the overtake done. The Red Bull locking up David. Heck of an overtake, but the Renault coming back on the exit. The Renault is not giving up the position. Here goes David on the inside. He locks up the McLaren driver, losing pieces of his front wing after an overtake from David. Might I say, that was some pretty good racing from the Renault driver and the Red Bull driver, but the McLaren of OG making a mistake and not braking early enough, not cautious enough. And here comes FRL Joker on OG. He is catching. He should be within DRS range now. So let's see what FRL Joker can do here. Yes, he does have DRS. He is now overtake mode, rich fuel mix. He is around the outside on the McLaren. Let's see if he can keep the move. Yes, he can. The McLaren not be... Oh! The McLaren switches back to the inside and they do make contact. FRL Joker losing a bit of carbon fiber from his front wing. That very risky move from the McLaren driver. Don't think the gap was there. FRL Joker did close up a bit. Probably a racing incident. And it is the Ferrari driver of Matty, I'm pretty sure. It's not very good for him. He's been struggling all race, and he is currently still struggling. He is now 1 minute and 2 behind the leader. He has gone wide again, and his tires, they're new but cold. You gotta be careful. He's making a very dangerous entrance onto the track, getting a 10-second time penalty, going straight into the wall, and probably retiring. Yep, he is retired from the session. That's his race over. Sven about to lap Menacing Skull. And the virtual safety car is out. Third place Ferrari, and they're having a very poor race at the moment. Williams in fourth might overtake Ferrari after this race if things finish the way they do. Chris is now on the rear end of David. He's making a move on the inside. Chris has the fastest lap. That's the move done on the Red Bull driver. Beautiful move from Chris, who's now up into second place, and needs to make up time on Sven now, just in case Sven does pit again. This might get close towards the end of the race, but at the moment it seems like Chris will be finishing in second. There goes the Mercedes driver Bloke on Arcus, and that seems to be the move done. Arcus, let's see if he can hold around the outside. No, he cannot. That's Bloke with the position. Bloke spinning out and hitting the barriers. That is an embarrassing mistake from the Mercedes driver, who has not had the greatest race. Losing pieces of his front wing. Might have to make another pit stop. Ferrari driver letting David by. Ferrari are now the Williams of F1 in this league. Running with very poor pace, underperforming constantly. Might have to make some changes later on. Maybe practice a little more. Here comes the Red Bull driver slowing down, not making an overtaking maneuver into the first corner, but having a very good exit as Joker goes wide. Yeah, oh! Joker brake checks him and they've crashed! And the Renault drivers crashed. That is a massive crash. The safety car should be called out. The Red Bull losing its front wing. Joker brake checking, I'm pretty sure, the Red Bull driver. Joker is out of the race. What a poor result. After running very well, making an unnecessary move, braking very early. And he will not. Oh, he is making a move down the inside, double lock up. He does not have the position yet because Arcus makes a switchback. Good driving from both of them. Bloke going for a questionable gap, but he probably went for it. He saw Arcus lock up. Arcus now going wide. Let's see if Bloke can get past him now. Oh, Arcus brake checks him. And Arcus is now off the track. Not moving. Yellow flag, sector 2 and 3. Arcus has lost his front wing. That is a lot of drivers making very unusual mistakes here. Here comes the race winner. Sven crosses the line. First place. Sven has won the German Grand Prix. 12.6 seconds ahead of Chris. Chris, second place, comes across the line. The Renault driver battling hard with race Merv. David somehow still in fourth. Race Merv finishing sixth. And here's our top three. Amazing race from Sven. Chris second, OG third. The Williams driver proving why he is a championship contender. So, thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll be waiting for you for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Thank you everyone, and we'll see you next time.